For some reason, it was just like I was dragging my feet to get through the middle. Review after review after review. I'm not that great with history. If I need to make myself a cup of coffee, I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee, I guess. Or like teach him a lesson like, you fucked with the wrong bitch. Hello, welcome or welcome back if you're new. My name's Jordan, and today we're getting into a cozy reading vlog. We'll be reading Fallen Stars, the second book in the Heavenly Bodies series. I don't know how I didn't jump into this immediately after the cliffhanger of the first book, but here we are. You and me will be getting into this book, and stay tuned for all my thoughts and feelings on Fallen Stars. Let's sit down and chat about how far I got into Fallen Stars yesterday. So I'd say I got about like 20% in. I'm really enjoying how we immediately picked up right where the last book left off. And we're learning more about the backstory of Alara, Enzo, her friends, and the stars too. Let's get into reading a little more. I have my Alani Christmas edition, a mini one in this glass. It's definitely a mood, so that's what we have in here. The hand job with the washcloth. Come on now. I read like 3 chapters, so I'm gonna pop in my earbuds, listen to some of the audiobook, and get some cleaning done because we still have things we need to do. So I'm gonna clean, listen to the audiobook, and then I'll be back. And the book that I picked was, I got Rings of Fate. It's definitely been a few days. Have I been reading my book? No. I've been working. For those of you who don't know, I am a nurse that works night shift. So my schedule is all messed up all the time. And I've been trying not to film in the middle of the night, mainly because the lighting sucks. My sleep schedule has been absolutely messed up because I do try my best to flip to like a daytime schedule, especially since starting YouTube so that I can film in the light of day. And last week it epically failed. Yeah, I was up all night long and then going to bed at like 8 a.m. I was gonna update you, but ended up not. So here we are. Lots of life updates have been happening. I got a new job. By the time you see this, I'll already have started that. Day shift hours, Monday through Friday. So that'll be better for my mental health, my sleep schedule, all of that. I'm really going to miss everyone that I work with on nights because they just are amazing. And it's just going to be really sad not working with them anymore. Also, we're going to apply to apartments because I'm moving in with my boyfriend in April. We toured an apartment yesterday that we really liked. So today I'm going to apply for it and we'll go from there. I hope to maybe finish the book today or tomorrow and give you my final thoughts. Just wanted to check in and let you know where I'm at. I have like about 100 pages left, so we'll see how far we can get into it. I'm popping back to tell you that I finished Fallen Stars and it was very good. It took me a while to read it just because I was really busy and a lot of things were happening in my life outside of work and reading. And we jumped right back into where we left off in Heavenly Bodies, which I originally said was really good. And I'm glad that we're jumping right in and going. But I will say the middle was very slow. Once we hit like the last 20%, we flew. So we went from one battle to like recovering, recouping, immediately planning to go into another battle with the stars. Like reveal after reveal after reveal, and it was just so good. But you definitely have to get over the lull in the middle of the book. And I honestly, a lot of the books have a lull in the middle. It's not a foreign concept. For some reason, it was just like I was dragging my feet to get through the middle. And for whatever reason, it just wasn't, it just took me a long time. Maybe it's because I didn't have a lot of time to read, to sit down and read, because most of the time when we hit the middle, I like push through. And because I couldn't push through because I had other things I needed to do, it was like, okay, I'm going to read a little bit here. Okay, I'm tired. I'm going to go take a nap. Or like, I'm bored. I need to go actually do some chores or whatever. So it took me a couple days to get through the middle. But then once I did, it was like, it picked up. I don't think I can give it anything more than a 4 star, unfortunately, because of the pace that I read it at. It did take me a long time to get through it. It's normally not the case. So the epilogue of this was diabolical. There's no way they just are gonna like leave it off that way. And like it is having me on the edge of my seat waiting for Holy Monsters to come out because I know it's gonna be so good. And I think it's only gonna be a trilogy. If it's gonna be longer, I'm here for it. I am. If the ending wasn't this big reveal, then I probably wouldn't give it a 4 stars. But because it is, and the way things are playing out, and it's leading up to the third book, which I think is coming out this year. So I'm not sure about the date. If I have the date, it'll be right here, but I'll be picking that up immediately. I definitely regret not jumping into this immediately after Heavenly Bodies, but I think when Holy Monsters comes out, I'm most likely going to want to do a reread because it's definitely not coming out until probably the fall because this came out winter time of 2025. So it's going to be a while, even if it even comes out this year. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What I am deciding to do is I'm going to pick up The Frozen River, which is one of my 26 books from 2026. So is Fallen Stars. I'm going to make a series of vlogs that are like, read my 26 books of 2026 with me to keep me accountable to actually read them. We have one down, which is Fallen Stars. Maybe we'll finish this one in this vlog and we'll have two down. So we're going to be getting into Frozen River. I actually read a lot so far. I was listening to some of it while I was cleaning and doing some things around the house. So I am on page 257. We're about, I don't know, 60% through. I'm eating it up. For some reason, anytime I hear that books are set in like the 17, 1800s, I'm just like, not interested, not for me. I don't know, maybe it's just because like from English class in high school, we read a lot of like literary fiction novels. Not that those are necessarily like the types of books that we do read, but oftentimes it's like books set in that time period are often harder to read because of the words used. You have to put your mindset in there, and like 99% of the things that are happening in the book wouldn't be happening today. You have to like think, oh yeah, this is the 1700s. It's taking place in Massachusetts. So you're talking about like colonizing, basically pushing out the Native Americans from their home. It's very divided. Those who sympathize with the Native Americans are judged by those who are the ones in power in the town, I guess. We are following Martha, who is a midwife in a town, very rural town, I would say. You have to, obviously, there's no cars, so they're riding horseback to and from. There's a lot of things that are brought up, like you don't fornicate with men if you're not married or courting them or engaged or whatever. Like if you interact with a man when you are married, you're punished essentially. Same kind of deal as if you aren't married. Like if you're caught with a man and you're unwed, you're cast out of society and judged, especially if you're with a man and you have a child out of wedlock. Closest thing I can think to reference is Bridgerton. Like that's just the time period. So we're following Martha, and she is a midwife. And then there's this new doctor in town who has a degree at Harvard. And he thinks that he's like more credible because he's a doctor. So he oftentimes is like stepping on Martha's toes and saying that he knows best. But men are too prideful to give a woman the time of day let alone telling them they're right or giving an apology, especially during this time period. Like, it's just like a foreign concept. The man looked like he was beaten and hanged before he was thrown into the river. So that is what Martha deems as like the cause of death, is that it was a murder. And then this doctor comes in and he's like, no, it wasn't a murder. It was an accidental drowning. And then all these like bruises, cuts, and everything on him are post mortem as he was thrown into the river. Martha's like, that's not true. There's no way. They end up going to like the town's court, has gone to these in the past. Like, she's like mandated to like report illegitimate children. She's also like technically allowed to state cause of death because she's like a medical professional, but she's a woman and she's a midwife and she's not a doctor. So the men don't really value her opinion very well. Depending on how this goes, I think I'm going to rate it definitely a 4, maybe more. I found it myself leaning more towards the fiction genre after reading Nightingale by Kristen Hanna at the beginning of this month. And that one was so beautifully written. It was so good. And then just think historical fictions are kind of hitting right now. And I'm normally not a historical fiction girly. I definitely like my romance and my fantasy still. Read a little bit more. And I'll check back in when I have my thoughts. So I finished Frozen River. I'll give it a 4 stars as well, just because it was captivating me. Like, I wanted to keep reading it. I didn't want to put it down. You know what? I'll give it 4.5 stars actually. The like old timiness of it and like the pressing matters of what's going to happen when the individuals in the town do find justice. Are they going to find justice? Like, how are we gonna get there? Is Martha gonna continue to be her badass self? Which she did. She's badass mom, midwife, and advocate for the women in the town. So I very much enjoyed reading about her and her life. And there were a lot of instances where she went above and beyond and spoke up for her patients against Dr. Page. I definitely enjoyed like the historical aspects of it. Yeah, it was intense. There was a lot going on. It was pretty heavy, I will say that. But it was really good in the fact as it was like written really well. It held my attention the whole time. Like I said, I read it pretty quick. I read it within like 2 days. Yeah, those are my thoughts. In this reading vlog, we gave Fallen Stars 4 stars. Frozen River is getting 4.5 stars. Thanks for joining me in my reading vlog. I'm going to make this a series. Read my 26 books for 2026 with me. So this is part 1. And if you want to follow along with that journey, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.